not to get my hopes up, because that could take years. So if I could afford to, that I should try to go private. So that's what I did. I looked through the internet, found a psychologist. Long story short, we were assessed by a psychologist who was a fraud, who was not adequately trained to do such assessment. She also gave recommendations for medication that nearly killed my little girl. We spent 2 weeks in an ICU. I can't discuss much more on that due to legal reasons. Shortly after this, Kyra's assessment was done through the PDS model, which at the time I was ecstatic about, because this time I thought, oh yes, she's going to get what she needs. Little did I know, that was only the start of the rodeo. Through social media, I found out that Kyra's assessment of need was done incorrectly due to a High Court ruling, and Kyra was put on a waiting list to be reassessed. After about 8 months, after this, and due to an RTE documentary that myself and my daughter took part in to highlight the fact that psychology is still unregulated in Ireland, we were called in by the HSE to have my daughter's full assessment done. Again, I believed, yes, now we will get something. I'm really sure we will. But yes, you guessed it, we didn't get a thing. The assessment was also found to be done completely incorrect and was only done by a psychologist. That brings me up to this year, April. I was told after going down the legal route that Kyra's assessment was going to be done in early July, but this time I wasn't going to believe them. I wasn't going to believe them till I seen it in my hand and it was complete. I received the list of how they planned to do the assessment, and I was blown away by how in-depth it was going to be. But I never ever allowed myself to get excited, because I just knew CDNT have told me all this before and it just never turned out to be anything. Then finally they pulled an they started the assessment and halfway through the assessment they lost their occupational therapist. This is the third assessment. They finally pulled an OT from another team, and again, my child's again, I was really happy with the assessment. It was complete and it was a clear picture where my child's needs was established, and I awaited the report. I had to hound them for weeks for this report. I don't have the report to support my child's school applications, so I contacted the CDNT to be told Emma, the psychologist who did Kyra's assessment, was out on sick leave for 12 to 14 weeks. Yeah, sorry, I'll skip it on anyway. We were placed on a priority waiting list when we lived in Crumlin, and when we moved up to Tallaght, we were actually removed from that waiting list by an OT, which is not a psychologist. When we were in Crumlin, Kyra was assessed by a psychologist, and I was told that she needed urgent care from a psychology point of view. I was removed from that list when I changed my address. I was discriminated just simply for changing my address. I'm not going to continue with this because I know it's starting to rain and there's plenty of people here that need to speak. But I'll just summarise our situation. We have had 3 assessments of needs. 3. We have had 2 CAMHS refusals for a child with severe self-injurious behaviours. We've had 2 home care packages refused. We have had 32 school refusals, and we have no assessment of need complete to date. My child has no school place.